Caroline actually started pigeons before me because she used to crawl around the pigeon loft in nappies. So anyway, here we got Caroline, who is part of the whole organization, and my 3 children who used to raise pigeons together with me. I must tell you it was quite frustrating, but I was very pleased because I would breed them what I would consider the best from my best. And quite often they would come home before my pigeons and they would be so over the moon about the fact they'd beaten Dad. But anyway, that was the life that we've had with pigeons. So now we come to a place like this, it's actually, it's our passion. It's not a business. We love doing what we do. So we'd like to. Just before I get on to the main part of the evening, I want to just thank a few people. First of all, those from our veterinary department, Dr. Nika, Dr. Majuru, and Dr. Dubey. Are they here? Oh, there you are. Unfortunately, Dr. Nika, who is the Principal Veterinary Officer in the Department of Agriculture, had to go away on urgent business, so he's not here this evening. But I must say they've been very supportive over the years. In the initial stages of establishing this race 7 years ago, Dr. Nika actually went with me to the $1 Million in South Africa to get a better understanding of what pigeon racing was all about. And they've been with us the whole way. And I must say that they've been very supportive. They're always eagle-eyed to make sure we do everything correctly. But by no ways are they obstructive like we find other people or some people are in other places. So we're really grateful for the support, and thank you very much. Well done. We're also fortunate to have Dr. Vinsale from South Africa with us tonight, in fact, and he's been our consultant vet. A great contribution to us. The amount of knowledge that he has, and you've experienced it today by listening to the lectures that he had, it's really a real asset that we have, and I'm so glad that we've got that. And again, thank you to Dr. Vinsale. We also have a few sponsors which I'd like to mention. One is Sky Leader, is Taiwanese organization that supplies us tracker rings. And interestingly enough, they're actually developing live tracking. It's a way to go. The tracking that we use at the moment is after the fact, so we can only download if a pigeon gets back, and sometimes they don't get back, as you know. So that's the technology we have right now. We have to wait till the pigeon comes back before we can get the information. But we hope we'll be the first to have live tracking on a commercial basis once it's ready and available. MedPet, who have right from the outset been the supplier to us of some of the meds that we need. So we want to mention them and grateful to them. Benzene is our clocking system. They also sponsor us to some extent with some of the rings. And finally, Breakaway Products, which is the line of products developed by Dr. Vinsale, and we get from him most of what we need right now. Thank you very much. And the next, of course, is our very important agents worldwide. We want to just make mention of them. They do a really great job. We've had some of the agents right from the outset. They've done, have kept going, and they've been faithful to us, and we're really thankful for that, and thank you. And there's agents that represent 47 countries. 37 countries. So that's, that's great. And now to just mention some of them in person that have made the effort to come all the way here. And in no particular order, there's Jassim from Kuwait. Jassim has been with us also from the outset, and in fact, the one that probably collects and has collected the most as a single agent, the most number of pigeons over the years. Thank you very much, Jassim. We also have Michelle Voters, who's our agent from Belgium. He also covers some of Holland. He's with us tonight. Werner Waldo from Germany. Rudolf Visser, Netherlands. Yuri Irvi from South Africa. Frank McClucton, all the way from United States. And Charla Metin from Turkey. Thank you and welcome. Okay, and last but not least, it's all our fanciers and friends that have come here tonight. As I said, we're so grateful that you've made the effort to come here. We'd also like to make a special thanks to Nsika Lodge. And I think all of you can agree it's a really, really great venue. A really great lodge, and it's only new, but we really hope people can go out there and tell everyone how great it is. It's fantastic. And well done to Nsika. It's great. And for Richard, who's been the brainchild of Nsika, and Bob, they've developed this from just virgin bush not long ago. The only people that's upset about it a bit is a few warthog and a couple of kudu that have had to move off. So thanks for that. Lastly, on the line of thanks, but really very important for me to mention is the staff that support us and really put a hang of a lot of effort in. And firstly, it's the administration staff headed up by Karen. She works tirelessly to get things done, and very often works through the night. To be honest, it's actually quite a thing, because some people, funnily enough, don't realize there's time zones around the world and they need things to happen immediately. So Karen and her staff, it's Liesel and Alex, who work directly with her, and Tanya, who's really helped a lot. Tanya had moved away and went to France and then came back to Zim, and she, at the last minute, drop of a hat, she managed to, or she agreed to help us because we had issues with Ashley, who couldn't continue. So we're really grateful for Tanya to come in and do it. And fortunately, she's so well versed in everything, it was just a matter of opening the computer and carrying on. Thank you, Tanya. Kevin Fry, who's our operations manager. Kevin is responsible for all the nuts and bolts and the cameras and everything else. You know, he controls the staff, the pay, the clocking systems, everything that needs to be done around the place, maintenance, vehicles, you name it. It's Kevin's baby, and he's a busybody. And really grateful for everything you do for us, Kevin.
Well done, Kevin.
And the next lot, of course, a big part of the operation is our loft staff, headed up by Peter Becker. Peter's the trainer. He's got some very able members of staff that we've been training over the years. And to mention some of them is Devotion, who's a graduate from the university, and we spent the last 2 years training him. He's very familiar now with the computer, with the microscope. Can do all our analysis, take photographs of samples. He's also in charge of our import and exports in Harare. He liaises closely with the veterinary department to ensure that our shipments are done correctly, and a really great asset to us. He's also supported by senior locked hands like Kennedy and Tendai. Tendai has had a long apprenticeship with pigeons. He's been with me for 23 years, and when I was racing pigeons in a private loft, I virtually left it up to him so I could go fishing, and he would do everything and still be successful. So those guys, and then of course they've got a whole lot of locked hands and help with all the many pigeons at the beginning of the season anyway, that need to be handled and basketed, and it's not an easy job. You know, we start at the beginning of the year, we toss every single day, starting at 4 in the morning. Sunday, of course, we give everyone a rest because I think by the end of the week they're pretty exhausted. But as the season goes on, it gets less tossing, fewer birds to worry about, and then we don't go every day. But it's a lot of hard graft, and the guys get pretty good at it, and they're very well versed on all the requirements. So it's just a special thanks to all of those guys. Just a quick mention of the race in the last 2 days. Being our final, it's been the end of a very difficult season for us. Very disappointing in some respects, but I think we managed to pull the rabbit out of the hat at the end because it was a good final. It was hard. It was what people like, but we still got a reasonable number of pigeons back. We had over 200 pigeons by the time the clock stopped this evening. The clock will continue to run for those that are interested to record later birds, but they're not in the results. Just remember, if they're in there and they're like 206 pigeon, that doesn't mean they're in the prize money. But we'll continue to run the clock for a couple of days so people can see, what if any of the late birds have come in. We know the conditions, but for the benefit of the camera and for people that are not sure, it was exactly as predicted. The weather at the Liberation Point was very clear. The pigeons cleared very easily. Sometimes these clear days are not as easy as one would hope, but we have clear days at this time of the year almost every day. But the birds cleared, not very hot at all in the morning, about 8 degrees to start, and they flew back. Throughout the day, the temperature increased. The maximum yesterday in Victoria Falls was 30 degrees, which is quite warm, and I think everyone experienced that. You know, it was sitting right in the direct sunlight is a bit warmer than sitting under the shade. So they had a slight headwind throughout the day. It was a northeast to north wind. It was more on the shoulder than a headwind, but it was up to 15 kilometers an hour direct side wind, which is not really strong. We have quite often much higher than that, but enough to tax the birds and to challenge them. We had a very good breakaway winner, Hans Paul Hesse's pigeon, arriving in 8.25 hours after liberation and a velocity of 1170 meters per minute, which is a nice speed. But it was 45 minutes ahead, which is quite phenomenal. And I don't believe that pigeon stopped at all. The birds had arrived after that, about 45 minutes later. We had evidence that they had gone down for water. They had some mud on their feet and so on. And I think most pigeons after that would have stopped at least once. We had one tracker bird, early bird, downloading the tracks. We could see that it had stopped twice during the journey, but it didn't fly straight. It went downwind. Shouldn't have gone downwind because it wasn't blowing that hard, but it actually ended up going around Bulawayo and then coming back. It flew from Kami Dam next to Bulawayo all the way back to Big Falls at 400 kilometers without stopping again. So I don't know why it stopped at the beginning. So anyway, on the first day we only had 17 pigeons recorded. The second day, by the close of the race at 6 p.m., we had 206 pigeons, which was very pleasing. The various competitions that we had was the Super Ace, the Grand Averages, and the team competition all had 5 different countries represented in that. So it's quite a nice spread. It's actually less number of countries than we traditionally are used to. Prior to this, the least number of countries ever represented was 6. So there's multiple countries being represented, or should I say, countries being represented multiple times on this occasion. On the final, there were 6 different countries represented. So that concludes what I have to say. I just want to ask Karen if she can come up and help us with the prize giving. And thanks very much. Over to you, Karen.
Good evening, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, but I think everybody does, I'm Karen Taylor. I'm Jeff's daughter, and I'm responsible for the administration and finance of the race. Before I announce the prize winners, I would like to first do one thank you that hasn't been done, and that is to thank Jeff and Caroline. Jeff believed in starting this race many years ago. It's his passion his whole life, as you've heard. And I've never met someone more dedicated than my father when he puts his mind to something. So, congratulations, Dad, and well done to you and to Mom for all the support, but for really persevering. It hasn't been easy sometimes, and you always taught me to never ever give up. So, well done, and thank you for what you do, for all of us, and for the sport. So I'd like to announce the trophy winners. First of all, we'll start with the hotspot winners. So the winner of hotspot 1 was Joost Meyers from the Netherlands with a pigeon called Junior. And Rudolf Visser is the agent, so he will also accept it on his behalf.
Well done. Thank you. Well done, Rudolf. Thank you.
The winner of hotspot 2 was a pigeon from the United Kingdom, a fancier called Tink's Treasures, which is Mark Ward, so congratulations to him. He's not here. Hotspot 3 was won by Thomas Panker from Germany, with a pigeon called Aaron.
Thank you. Okay.
Hotspot 4 was, Werner, don't go anywhere. Hotspot 4 was won by Alphonse Klaas, also from Germany.
Okay. Once again, you know, we need to photo. Okay.
Hotspot 5 was actually also won by Joost Meyers from the Netherlands, but with a different pigeon called Olympic.
Sorry, Thomas, we'll get to you.
Hotspot 6 was won by Wolfgang and Andrea Mix from Austria with a pigeon called Heinz. We're moving on to the grand averages now. The grand averages is the best overall performance over all long online training flights, including training flights and races. The third position for the grand averages is Pippa Breeding Loft from Belgium. In second position for grand averages is a fancier from Qatar called Al Gashamia Loft with a pigeon called Perfection. And in first position for the grand averages was also Pippa Breeding Loft with a different pigeon. The knockout competition is quite a difficult competition because 50% of the birds in that competition are eliminated at every race from Hotspot 2. And there were only 56 pigeons left in the competition at the start of the final, and the first one of that to clock wins that competition. And that was won by Hans-Paul Esser from Germany. With his pigeon is called Connie's Dream Comes True.
Thanks.
The team competition, which begins at Hotspot 2 and is based on a selection of the best 7 pigeons that a fancier believes to be the best, but only the first 3 in each race count towards the points, and the points are added together. Fanciers are kicked out of that competition if they don't have a pigeon clock in one of those races. The third place in the team competition was PEC and Batenburg van der Merwe from the Netherlands. Second position for the team competition was Willy Munich from South Africa. And in first position for the team competition was Pippa Breeding Loft from Belgium.
Well done.
Moving on to the final race. In 10th position was Henry van Venrooij from Netherlands. In 9th position was PEC and Batenburg van der Merwe, also from the Netherlands. Eighth position was won by Willy Munich from South Africa. Seventh position was won by Kaidi Family Loft from Morocco.
Target, Michelle.
Michelle? Just wait there. Sixth position was Christoph Mortelmans from Belgium with a pigeon called Jolly. In fifth position was Al Gashamia Loft from Qatar with a pigeon called Perfection.
Very good.
In fourth position was De Kock Family from South Africa with Lishia. In third position was Rudolf Visser from the Netherlands with a donor pigeon from Uren and Steenrijk.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
In second position in the final race was Jaco Bakkel and Pigeoneers from South Africa. And the winner of the final race was Hans-Paul Esser with a 45-minute lead from Germany with Connie's Dreams Come True.
Wow. Bravo. The winner is Germany.
The final competition that we have trophies for is the Super Ace competition, which is the best overall performance over the 5 longest races. In 10th place is Christoph Mortelmans from Belgium. In 9th place is Al Gashimia Loft from Qatar. In 8th place is Nawaf Hajar from Kuwait with a pigeon called Star. In 7th place, in Super Ace, is Gannis Family Loft from United States with Power of Faith.
That's right.
In 6th position is Pippa Breeding Loft from Belgium. In 5th place in the Super Ace is Rudolf Visser from the Netherlands. In 4th place in the Super Ace is Triple J Loft from South Africa with Jalbert.
Problem is it was a Zimring, eh?
In 3rd position in the Super Ace is Willy Munich, also from South Africa. In 2nd position for the Super Ace is Pippa Breeding Loft from Belgium.
Well done, guys.
Yeah.
And the winner of the Super Ace is also Pippa Breeding Loft from Belgium. Congratulations to all the prize winners.
Well done, guys.
Please enjoy your dinner tonight. The mains will be served shortly, and then dessert, and we can have a bit of a party. So thank you everybody for coming, and thank you for the time spent here.